The South is full of haunted history. There are ghost stories around every corner waiting to be told.
The Judson Moody House was built in 1887 in the new mining town of Bessemer, Alabama. The town's first physician lived here briefly before his wife and child died in the home. William Henry Harrison Judson of New Orleans purchased the stately home for his family and started the first newspaper in the county. Harry, as Judson was known, married Eliza Verdon, and they had 2 daughters, Lula and Grace. Lula, a gifted writer and social magnate, went on to become the first female syndicated newspaper columnist, Judy Brown, with a column titled Ask Judy, the predecessor to Dear Abby. Lula married Lee Moody, a local real estate investor who became president of the First National Bank. It was then that neighbors titled the home the Moody Mansion. At least 5 recorded deaths of occupants have occurred in the home, and a string of owners since the Moody family have had numerous paranormal activities, including the current owners, Michael Allen and Jarrett New, who began renovating the mansion for their family 9 years ago.
So we've had a lot of requests to stream a live ghost hunt. So Craig and I thought, what better place than to do it from the Moody Mansion?
When we started planning our first official live ghost hunt, the place we thought of first was, of course, the Moody Mansion, one of my favorite spots in the entire city. We both investigated there a couple of times, so we knew the layout. We got there a little bit early, we talked with the owners.
And we weren't sure how it was gonna go, because typically when you try to do things live, you never know if you're gonna get activity or not. So we were basically planning on just showing people some of our equipment, some of our ghost hunting techniques and things that we do, answer some questions. But before we could even get started, we were in the process of setting up and we started getting activity.
And we went into the kitchen, started getting ready. We had about 30, maybe 15 minutes to before we were starting. So we were gonna go set up and start making some plans. And as soon as we hit the foyer, lights started coming on, things just started acting crazy. So we were like, we are in for an interesting night.
So in this first clip, you're gonna see us kind of explaining what had just happened, and we're on the live, and so you'll hear us kind of responding to some of the people asking questions and watching the live. But watch closely, because as we're explaining what was happening, we started to get more activity with one of the lights that we actually did catch on camera. We started a few minutes early because we started having activity. So we're going to go get situated and we'll explain what just happened.
He said he's got to come back over here before he messed up already.
That's crazy. Okay, so I came through here and I said, Craig, don't turn off the light yet because I've got to come back in here. And the lights came on.
The lights came on and then went right back off. And I had my back turned, and she said one of the lights in the parlor came on and then turned back off.
I was looking right at it when it happened.
She was looking right at it when it happened.
Okay, so we were in here in the kitchen, kind of coming up with our game plan. And we started to carry our stuff into the other room to get set up to start the live. All right, so we were in here. We both grabbed a handful. Okay, so in the kitchen. We started walking through here, and Craig was behind me. I was stepping through right here, and I said, hey, Craig, don't turn off the lights yet because I've got to come back and get some more stuff. As soon as I said that, these lamps right here on the wall.
And they both came on because one came on before the other one.
The lights came on. So we come in here, and we're standing here talking in the parlor. So Craig is still getting set up. We were talking. As we're talking about the lights, and the owners are next door, they were telling us about one of the spirits here named Harry, and that it's Harry who messes with the lights. This chandelier, I know it's dark, you can't see it. There's a chandelier hanging above the table. The chandelier came on by itself. So we're already getting activity, and As I was standing there explaining it to you guys.
I'm about to start recording on here, so.
Okay. As I was in there explaining it, this chandelier.
There it goes.
Look at this! The chandelier is gone. I pointed to the chandelier and it. Okay.
We are literally the only people in the house, and
Explaining it, this chandelier.
There it goes.
Look at this! The chandelier is gone. I pointed
There it
to
goes.
the chandelier and it. Okay.
We are literally the only people in the house, and I am nowhere near anything here.
Throughout the night, we continued having a lot of activity that was surrounding lights. In this next clip, you're going to see Michael, one of the owners, suggesting that we go outside. And again, we're still on the live stream. We didn't have any other cameras rolling except for my phone, which was live streaming, and Craig's phone, which was recording kind of a behind the scenes. So we went outside with Michael. There was no one else in the house. While we were outside, the lights in the ballroom started cutting on and off by themselves, to which Michael and Craig both did not notice. I was the only one who noticed anything happening with the lights as we walked back up to the house. Thankfully though, Craig's phone caught it in action. So you're gonna see two point of views. One was from the live stream, which I was holding the phone, and the second point of view is gonna be Craig's camera.
Before we have all of this other equipment and stuff, let's leave this here and let's venture down these stairs and let's see the house from the exterior.
Okay.
But the house is so ominous and beautiful on the outside. When I was walking up, I think it would be fun to see for everybody.
So we're going back into the house now. Oh, let me get this. Oh, I can't turn it around. I'm gonna do it this way because it's a. Wait, I can't see. What am I doing? Did you just do that? When we were walking up that light where the chandelier was on. That's why I turned this around to show how pretty it was and it just went off.
Well,
You didn't just go flip a switch?
I'm sitting right here.
Earlier, we were just walking around before we even got started, and we started having. Earlier, we were just walking around before we even got started, and we started having some activity happen. So, do I need to lock this?
No, you can leave it open.
Just leave it, it's fine. I'll get it.
And so we're going back into the house now. Oh, let me get this. Oh, I can't turn it around. Oh, I can't turn it around. I'm gonna do it this way because. Wait, I can't see.
And walking in.
Did you just do that?
What?
When we were walking up that light where the chandelier was on. That's why I turned this around to show how pretty it was, and it just went off.
Well,
You didn't just go flip a switch?
I'm sitting right here.
You saw that, right?
I mean, that's plugged right
Okay,
there
so does that
into
lamp
the
ever come
wall.
on by itself?
Look,
Never.
Here we go.
I've never had that before.
Look, here it comes. It's about to turn on. You turned away.
Yes. As you're walking up. And I
And
noticed
you
the
took
light
the
come on. I
key
thought,
out.
oh, it's so pretty in there.
So they were watching the live stream. One of the owners comes in and suggests we go outside. So we go outside. We do like a good walk around the block, getting good, video of the house. And as we started coming back up the steps, I had my camera, and Ashley had her camera behind us, and Michael was in front of us. So he walks up the steps, turns around, looks at me, and the light goes off. I didn't notice it. He turns back around, walks up the stairs, turns around to get his phone out of his pocket for his flashlight, and the light comes on and the light goes off. I didn't notice that either. Ashley was the only one that noticed it. And so we stopped the video, we ran it back, and sure enough, the light came on, came off. After, while I was reviewing the footage, I realized the lights had been on before. So they had been on, they turned off. Michael went up the stairs, turned around, they came on, they came off again. So I didn't see either of that, neither did Michael. And one of the things that he did mention is when something like that does happen, only one person sees it. So that was unusual.
Now, shortly after that happened, I had excused myself to go to the restroom. So I was walking through the house, and Craig and Michael stayed with my phone on the live, and they were just talking about things. And they hear me yelling out for them from the other room. As I was going to the bathroom, and it was dark in this part of the house, as I stepped into one of the rooms, the lamps came on for me. Like someone was turning on the light for me to go to the restroom. I simply said, "Thank you," and then the lights cut off by themselves. So you're gonna hear me react to that, and then you'll see Michael and Craig responding and coming in there to me as I explain what just happened.
Literally, ours started before we even started rolling on any of our cameras. All right, so she's run to the restroom. We're going to
What?
another light.
She's saying she went to the bathroom.
She went to the bathroom.
She's back. Wait, she's back here in the bathroom. And yeah, she's back.
Here the light came on for me and then cut back off.
Oh God.
In the bathroom?
No, and here the lamp. The lamp just came on by itself when I walked into the dark room. It's like it's turning on the lights for me. That bird.
What's the bird?
That lamp came on by itself.
That lamp.
I walked in here and it's dark and the lamp came on by itself. And I was like, "Thank you."
Good Lord. We don't know who that was, but maybe they were just being polite.
So since this was just basically going to be a live stream, it wasn't a full-on investigation. We didn't have cameras set up all through the house, unfortunately, so we missed a lot. But again, we weren't expecting this much activity. We've captured evidence before on a previous investigation with the Tuscaloosa Paranormal Research Group at the Moody Mansion, where we believe we interacted with Elizabeth's spirit. So we were hoping that we would be able to reach out to Elizabeth again. However, I don't think Elizabeth was the one who was willing to talk to us that night. When we do EVP sessions, we try to be really quiet except for like one asking questions. And then if one of us makes a noise or your stomach growls or whatever, we have to mark it, because when you listen back, you don't want any like contamination on the recorder. So we're just going to record a few minutes at a time, play it back, see if we catch any voices. All right, you recording on yours? I'm rolling on mine too. I'm gonna actually, since you've got yours right here, I'm gonna put mine on the bed.
Okay, great. All right, this is Craig and Ashley. We're at the Moody Mansion, and we are in Elizabeth's room, which is the guest room, and this is our second EVP session. Setting the camera on the floor.
Can you make a noise or do something so that we'll know you're here?
Is that your stomach?
No, was that you? Make a noise or do something so that we'll know you're here?
Is that your stomach?
No, was that you?
No?
That was a female voice. Did it sound like a female?
I don't know what it sounded like.
It was right here.
That wasn't my stomach.
Could
That
you
wasn't
guys
your
hear
stomach?
that? Y'all heard it.
You heard it?
We'll have to listen back
We'll
to
listen
that in a
back.
second.
Yeah, I think we need to.
Yeah, we're gonna listen back to it real quick and see if it picked up on the recorder. I swear it sounded like a female voice to
Right.
me. Then we'll know that you're here. Can you make a noise or do something so that we'll know you're here?
That was it? Is that your stomach?
No. Yeah, go back.
All right,
That
let's
was
go
a
back.
female But on here it sounds like a man.
Yeah.
Then we'll know that you're here. Can you make a noise or do something so that we'll know you're here?
That was a male voice.
It is a man. In person, it sounds like a female.
Right.
Listen. Did it sound? What is it saying? You're here. It's a man.
It's a man.
And it responded right when I
Right.
said, so that we'll know you're here. What's it saying?
We're in here.
Here. Can you make a noise or do something so that we'll know you're here? We're in here?
We're in here. Wait a minute. We're in here.
It has that what sound at the beginning.
Yeah.
Can you make a noise or do something so that we'll know you're here?
We're in here. Wait a minute.
Sounds more like we're in here.
Yeah.
But it's so weird. It sounded higher pitch in person. On here it's deep.
And it sounded like it came literally
Really?
from right
to me,
here.
it sounded like right
Oh,
here
really?
behind me.
To me, it sounded like under the right by the
That
couch.
was a few something so that we'll know you're here.
What are you doing?
No, was that you?
Yeah, play it back. See, you hear that what sound at the beginning.
Right.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
It says, what are you doing?
You're here?
Wait, let me try it again.
It sounds like it says, what are you doing?
Let's see what it says.
You're here?
What are you doing? See if you can hear that.
Or do something so that we'll know you're here.
It says, what are you doing? Oh my-
Room, the guest room. Did you hear a whistle?
I did, but I was reading that comment, so I wasn't even paying attention to it.
The guest room. Did you hear a whistle?
I did, but I was reading that comment, so I wasn't even paying attention to it. No, it came through here.
So we thought we were in here
because
talking.
we didn't bump anything.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We weren't
it's like
touching
something
it.
hit the recorder.
Can you tell me when this house was built?
Yeah, we did go back.
Right there.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah,
Can
it
you
sounds like
tell
something
me
tapped
when
it.
this house was
Tapped the
built?
microphone.
Yeah, something tapped the, and this
Tell
was.
me when this
Yeah,
house
it was sitting by
built.
itself. We weren't touching it.
Let's go back a little bit.
There.
Can you tell me when this house was built?
Yeah, something hit it. And just a quick note, we've gotten really good at like keeping our feet still when we're doing an EVP session. We don't move our feet. If we move our feet, we usually will announce it. So that's something that hit because that's a good 2 feet away from me where I put it. That's weird.
Built.
Yep, that's something that hit the microphone.
Tell me when this house was built.
Yeah. Ha.
But if you are not Elizabeth,
Did you hear
can you
that?
let us know your
That's
name?
weird.
just so we
Something's
know
touching
who
it,
we're
messing
Yeah,
with it.
something's touching it.
But if
It's
you are not
moving.
Elizabeth,
That's something touching the.
but we thought
messing
we were
with it.
talking to Elizabeth. But if you are not
That is weird.
Elizabeth, can you let us know your name just so we know who we're talking to?
It keeps doing it.
Or just make some kind of noise or something just so that we know that you're still here with us.
That's weird.
Something is tapping
It
on
doesn't
the mic.
normally do that.
No, it's never done that. When we went to the guest room, which was Elizabeth's room, we just started our EVP session, and Ashley and I both heard, like in between us, a noise. So we played it back, and the closest we can come is, "What are you doing here?"
People on the live heard it as well. And again, it sounded higher pitched like a female's voice in person, but in real time. But when we listened back to it on the recorder, it was much deeper, and we determined that it was a man's voice. So we've gotten really great results using the spirit box at the Moody Mansion before. So we wanted to attempt that again using the blindfold method. So the blindfold method is pretty much a sensory deprivation experiment where one person will be blindfolded with noise canceling headphones, and they're connected to our spirit box, and they'll speak out loud any words that they hear come through the device. You'll have the other people who are asking questions. Now the person blindfolded cannot hear what the people asking questions are asking. So it's up to the ones asking questions to determine if what the person blindfolded is saying correlates with what they're asking, to determine if you're getting an intelligent response or not. We did have some pretty interesting interactions during this session, but not only were we getting some responses through the spirit box, you'll see something else happen in this next clip.
Can you say bird? Can you say bird really loud?
So I know your family had birds here. Do you like that we have our bird here?
Either bird or word, I don't know.
So who's here? Dan, Lee, Harry, Eliza, Elizabeth,
The
Lula,
light just came on.
Elizabeth,
The
Lula,
light just came on.
Eliza, Eliza. Eliza, the light in the foyer flashed.
The
Right
light
here?
came on.
Yeah.
Did you
Like
not see the
straight
light
up.
come on? I told it to say bird.
I went through like all the names, and
As soon as
I said Eliza, and
Did that pick up on here?
yeah,
I don't
it's on
know.
there.
I don't
It's
know.
on there.
Oh,
There's no way it could not have picked up on there.
bird. It sounded like either word or bird. I couldn't. It sounded like bird, but
So they always said birds. We know that. We've
Yeah.
heard that from relatives, and we have birds. And so that's always been a thing. And so I was asking, like, where was the bird? And I was asking questions. And I said, I didn't know who's talking to me, who's here. And I went through a list of names. And
You
when I
said
said
all of
Eliza, the light came on.
Oh yeah.
A
And
light
earlier we
came
were
on. I
going
don't know
through names.
what light it was, but something came on.
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to tell. Like if it's a one syllable word, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, is that interference or,
Yeah.
or what? But that's interesting though.
Bird.
And then the light comes on.
Yeah, because I said
We were
I
totally
said that
talking
y'all
about.
finally
We were
saw it.
totally talking about birds.
yeah,
the
we're
whole
totally
time.
talking about birds. Right
So
when we said
Really?
birds.
The bird
That's
thing was
cool.
like straight up.
So as we were starting to wrap things up, we were just standing around in the kitchen, kind of recapping everything and trying to make sense of everything that had happened that night. And we hear this like breathy whistle. It almost sounded like wind, but there was no wind that night. And it also sounded like it was right there in the kitchen with us. We all heard it. It picked up through the live, and we still can't make sense of what it was.
We were sitting where.
When I
You
was
saw
doing the
these lights
blindfold
coming
method
on.
and the light came on that first time,
Yeah.
did you see that? Or was that just Craig?
Oh,
Is that wind?
no.
That's what I heard of earlier when we were.
You heard that?
I definitely heard it. I don't know what it was,
It
but
sounded
it
like
did sound
wind.
like wind.
Sounded
It
like,
sounded
yeah, it sounded like wind, but it's not wind.
No, the
outside.
trees are not even
Yeah.
blowing.
That's not wind, because we'd have heard that more than once. That was like, oh.
There's no wind.
Yeah, it's completely still outside.
This has been a
We have
very
you got a
interesting
recorder
night.
going?
Yeah, we have a recorder going.
Really?
That was
Yeah,
something.
yours is.
That was definitely something.
Did you see that? Or was that just Craig?
Oh,
Is that wind?
no.
Did you see that? Or was that just Craig?
Oh,
Is that wind?
no.
So overall, it was an amazing night. We had a lot of activity and a lot of experiences. And we were able to catch a lot of it on camera that people in the live were able to experience as well. So if you're interested in meeting the ghost of the Moody Mansion, you can go to themoodymansion.com and book your own paranormal investigation.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos or want to be a part of our live investigations, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you have any ideas for future investigations or want to share your own paranormal encounters, please feel free to leave a comment or send an email to crashmediaparanormal@gmail.com.